This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
I'm gonna knock you out. Your mama gonna knock you out. Baconsale gonna knock you out.
Oh, that's where it ties in.
You just throw in Baconsale and it's an intro.
Apparently.
That's how it works. I keep telling Joel, but he doesn't seem to get it.
That may have been,
Joel doesn't get it?
that may have
Joel
been
doesn't understand.
the whitest version of Mama Said Knock You Out I've ever heard.
I'm gonna knock you out.
I'm going to knock you out, homie.
Your mother is going to knock you out.
My mother.
Love Shack, baby. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Baconsale. I'm Kent.
I'm Joel.
And Jacob.
So, guys, it's a very special day coming up very quick, and we've done a few holiday shows before. In fact, we had a whole show about holidays.
We did.
And I'm not sure this holiday even made our lists. Did it make your list, Joel?
Man, that's a bad point to bring up.
I mean, Hilton Day was in the top 3.
Yeah. I have to go back and look at my list. No, I don't think this holiday, if you don't know what we're talking about, you probably should go out and get shopping right now because Mother's Day is coming up Sunday. So
yes.
You need to go shopping.
So this show is in dedication to all the mothers out there.
Yeah, send your mom a card, write her a nice note.
Or just have her listen to this episode because I'm sure it will be tasteful.
Yeah. I think mothers are the few people in this world that you still need to call. You can't just text. They just need that call. They like to call
it's true.
me.
It's true.
And they like to, my mom likes to butt dial me all the time. It's just like,
Really?
I'll just occasionally get a phone call and I'm like, hello. And it's just like noise and nothing. And I'm like, hi, Mom. And then I'll just hang up.
Speaking of calls, I have a little something special to share with you, Joel.
Already?
What? What's going on?
Did you get your mission call?
I got an app so that I could record calls. And I'm going to share with Kent later a little snippet from my mom.
So
you can drop that in here if you want.
Is this app called like the NSA or something like that?
It was like OCR. It was actually a really stupid name for an app.
Like illegal phone recording or something?
So wait, you're just going to have your mom say something and have Kent drop it in?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. In fact, if not for having an insane week, I was going to secretly get a hold of both of your moms as well.
Take it easy.
That's gross.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, context, please.
But yeah.
Well, I'll be at your mom's house next weekend anyways.
Oh, good. Yeah, she mentioned you were coming, so.
Yeah.
Wow. We're like 5 minutes in. And we've already made a Yo Mama joke. So.
I'm sure it's not the last.
This show is dedicated to the mothers that we love. Yo Mama.
Your mom will be at her house. Anyway, so let's just get started. Basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to celebrate and, I guess, antagonize many of the moms in media out there, whether it's in movies or TV shows. Mm-hmm. And we've done this before with our category shows, but we're going to go through and get specific and see who wins like the awards. Basically, this is Little League, and every mom wins an award, regardless of how good they are or how bad they are.
Exactly.
So, I don't know. Where do you guys want to get started?
Yeah, we're going to do the normal thing. I'll go through these categories, and you guys entertain us.
You pick one at random. We'll complain about the one you chose, and then we'll give
and in the order
decisions.
you give it.
Yeah. I'd like to start off with a good one.
Right.
Most manipulative.
That is a good one. Most manipulative. Kent, do you want to go first?
I do. My mother... No, I was kidding.
Does she listen to the podcast?
No, she doesn't. The mother I chose is from Sons of Anarchy.
Wow.
Yes.
Peg Bundy?
Peg Bundy. In the show, her name is Gemma Teller.
In the real life, her name is Katie Seagal.
Katie Seagal. Fantastic actress. I mean, if you just know her as Peg Bundy, like, that's a real disservice. And by the way, she was pretty young when she played Peg Bundy.
Yeah. It's hard to tell that because she was made up as kind of this...
like, dolled up in the worst possible way.
Yeah. And it was like an old woman trying to look young, but in real life, she really was young.
Yeah, she was maybe 30.
Wait, so who's Peg Bundy?
Well, Peg Bundy's from Married with Children.
Oh, okay. Right.
Jake grew up on a farm.
Oh, that's right.
So he couldn't watch naughty TV.
No, my mom wouldn't let me watch Married with Children. That's a fact.
That makes sense. Like, it's a show that I wouldn't want my kids watching either, but I watched it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. So in Sons of Anarchy, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's on it was on FX, and it went for 6 seasons. It's a show basically about the Hells Angels. But Hex ownership angels.
No, the biker gang Hells Angels, right?
Right, exactly. And so, but these guys are the sons, and they're based out of California. And the main character, his name is Jax. He's played by Charlie Hunnam, and it's kind of a Hamlet story. Like it's the weirdest thing because it's based around a biker gang, but it's essentially Shakespeare.
Interesting.
He's the vice president of the gang, but he doesn't want to be part of it because his dad died a few years ago, and his dad used to be the president, and he's like, I don't think my dad wanted
President of
to
the
be
United States?
the president of the motorcycle gang.
Oh.
My dad didn't want me involved in this. He wanted his kid to kind of be clean and not be involved in crime. But Gemma, the mom, is still very involved with everyone in the biker gang. In fact, she is romantically entangled with the current president, played by Ron Perlman. And it's very literally a Hamlet-type story, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so she, throughout all 6 seasons, controls everyone there. In fact, I wrote down a quote, but one of the characters says, Gemma knows every truth behind every lie, inside every secret. She's the gatekeeper. If you watch the show, you know this. She is the primary antagonist.
Really?
And she's the mother. And she means well, but she's the primary antagonist.
Pulls a lot of strings in the show.
Is there any good examples or anything, or is that asking too much as far as explanation?
She kills a few people and tries to take control of children. I mean, like, tries to adopt children that maybe she shouldn't be.
Control of
I don't want to just drop spoilers because I feel like it's a great show.
That's awkward territory, I know.
But she runs her son's life in every way, and he thinks he has the power. He's rising in power in the motorcycle gang, but she's always behind it.
Smart.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it.
Gemma Teller.
Well, Kent went with something pretty violent.
I did.
And I went with something a little more violet. I chose Violet Crawley, Dowager Countess of Grantham from Downton Abbey.
That's adorable.
That is adorable.
Oh, man. Like, okay, played by Maggie Smith. If you haven't watched Downton Abbey, she's kind of the matriarch who's stuck in the old world and resists anything that's new, which is kind of ridiculous because the world is moving forward and she keeps kind of pulling it back in that way. Here you go. Here's the quick bio of her. Violet Crawley is Robert's mother and widow of the previous Earl. Violet was born in 1842 to a baronet. Violet also has a sister, the mother of her niece Susan, who is married to the Marquess of Flintshire, known as Shrimpy. In the 1860s, Violet was pursued by the Lord Hepworth of Hatton Park. Scandalous.
What?
Yeah. No, all you need to know is it's Dame Maggie Smith in one of her best roles. Like a lot of, Professor McGonagall, people love her in that role.
Right.
In this role, she has such a sharp tongue and such a way of getting her way with other people. Like she's able to do that whole, like, you can do what you want, even if it means the death of me. And they're like, oh, okay, we won't do it. And she's always there to kind of try and get her way.
That's very British, by the way.
It is very British.
Yeah. She's so passive-aggressive on the show. It's enjoyable to watch.
Yes. And not only is she passive-aggressive, but when it demands it, she gets aggressive. Like, I love when she would just cut people down to size and tell them what she was really thinking when no one else would. And, call things ridiculous.
Is this Pride and Prejudice and Zombies where that literally happens? Or
No.
Oh, okay.
If only. But no, she's got a lot of sass, and I think that's very important. But also, I love the way she's able to kind of manipulate people and to point, not even in a bad way, but make people kind of see the light and find the error of their ways.
So is that basically the point of her character, is to kind of say, you're making the wrong decision, let me kind of make you believe that my way is the right way.
Exactly. And a lot of it comes from her tradition. She's steeped in tradition. And every time there's a break in tradition, she finds it offensive. And so she does her best to try to pull back on the reins a lot so the carriage doesn't get too out of control.
Do you think the show would be as good without her in it?
No. I think she was the star of the show, frankly.
Okay.
They had all the main cast, but every time Violet Crawley comes on, the Dowager Countess comes on, people loved it.
It's just every time I'd read it, because I stopped watching at the end of season 3, every time I'd read a summary, it would say, they have a fancy dinner and the Dowager Countess gets upset. And I'm like, that's the entire episode.
So yeah, that's
I think that's on the cover, right? Yeah.
Right. Exactly. What's this show about?
I would watch that. Yeah.
that's my choice.
You know what's weird is like Maggie Smith is, I don't know, probably in her 70s, late 70s. Do you want to look that up?
Ooh, yeah, sure.
Maybe 80s?
Yeah, she's old.
But the thing is, she has
like
looked...
Joel old.
She's an old.
Sorry.
She has looked old.
She's 81.
81, okay. Remember in Hook? I mean, remember in beginning of Harry Potter? Yeah, she was Wendy in Hook.
Yeah, she's the old Wendy.
Oh my
in
gosh.
Hook. She's basically been 80 for 30 years.
She kind of has
insane.
she has found the fountain of youth, but it unfortunately when she drank
She found it a little too late.
yeah,
She found the Angela Lansbury version. Yeah,
she drank it and it turned her 80 for about 30 or 40 years.
Yeah,
because she has managed to stay the same age for a long time.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I thought she was great on the show. I love her as Professor McGonagall. I even like her in Hook, and so she's an actress that I'll watch over and over again. But especially as the Dowager Countess, very manipulative, very sassy. Thoroughly enjoy her.
Absolutely, good choice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Same to you.
Thanks.
All right, next category: best cartoon mom. And why is it Marge Simpson?
So obviously Marge Simpson was the choice, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because the show's been running for 39 years now. and it's hard to really choose anyone else, but I did. Yeah, because I think The Simpsons kind of gets lost in the shuffle. We may have chosen
the same person then.
We did.
Oh, dear.
For real, let's go. 3, 2, 1, Elastigirl.
That's exactly what I had. I had Elastigirl. I had to look down right then because I was like, I did put Marge Simpson down. Yeah, so.
Helen Parr from The Incredibles. I know, I'm picking a Pixar choice here.
Yeah.
We understand you have.
That's how awesome Elastigirl is.
There's a lot of closet love for Pixar, so.
Yeah. Well, in Holly Hunter.
It comes out on an emotional day like Mother's Day. Yeah.
Holly Hunter is just a great actress.
She is.
And so to have her voice this character who is just an all-around great mom, and then she's also a superhero, it's so fun to watch.
Well, and she's actually very realistic as well. I mean, granted, there's all these super things happening, and she's trying to save her husband, but in terms of like their family dinner and holding things together, sometimes by wrapping her arms around everyone, it's just she's a mom, and she shows it.
Yeah, and I have some odd facts, by the way. Apparently, they're very specific. They said Helen can stretch any part of her body up to 100 feet, and she can be made 1 millimeter thin. I had no idea it was that specific. Like, I didn't know they put, like, limitations on it, but that's what they say.
I want to make a mammogram joke so much.
No.
I just did.
Close enough.
But I kind of love it. I mean, she is kind of the character, how like the husband can be kind of a doofus and she has to come save the day. And we see that a lot.
We do. The dumb husband, shrewish wife trope has been played out in so many sitcoms. But I feel like, at least in this movie, it's not overly played because she's not overly shrewish. It's more realistic. And then he's not an idiot. He
makes some poor decisions.
Midlife crisis.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, that's actually like the angle. It seemed like a couple of moms in the show, or at least I'm thinking of another one, like, where's my stretchy suit? You know, Samuel Jackson.
Where's my super suit?
Super suit.
He's not stretchy.
He's not stretchy. I've got stretchy on the brain now. Thanks a lot, Joe.
Stretchy on the brain.
All right, so let's go on. Best Mr. Mom.
I'll go first.
Okay, you go first.
Because it's Mr. Mom.
I mean, but that was a little obvious.
It was, but like when you said Best Mr. Mom, I'm like, well, it's Michael Keaton in Mr. Mom. For those of you who haven't seen the movie, 1983, classic comedy starring Michael Keaton and Terry Garr, and it's early 80s. Keep that in mind. But it's this wacky world where the mom ends up going to work and the dad has to stay home with the kids.
Crazy.
Wacky.
So I don't think a lot of people have seen Mr. Mom since it was made over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I only vaguely remember hearing it existed.
Like I know it was kind of a slapstick comedy at times. Like what were some of the things he had to deal with as a dad taking care of the kids?
He got laid off, and so he was trying to make.
Is this the one where he's cloned into multiple people?
No, I do love multiplicity though. But like for example,
Air is the enemy.
He doesn't know how to run the washing machine quite right, so he puts dish soap in the washing machine, and ends up bubbles going everywhere and chasing his kid around. Like the washing machine's like moving and chasing his kid.
So wacky.
He's trying to do these. What's the word? Works. I'm saying it in Portuguese for some stupid reason.
I'd say it in Portuguese and let's see what happens.
He's doing obras on his house. He's doing some improvements on his house. Wow.
Obras? Really? What?
That was weird.
Wow.
I may be really tired.
15-year flashback.
Apparently. But he's trying to do all these things done in the house while he's also has his time and his wife's going to work. And there's one point I remember when his wife's boss comes home and he's just hanging around like, you know, he's kind of in a wife beater and all that. And he ends up just like grabbing like a chainsaw or something like that and throwing on some coveralls and being like, oh yeah, I just been working on the house. Like no big deal. But he just dealing with the kids, not knowing what he's doing at first. And then he learns a valuable lesson about how important it is to be a mom and how it's very, very difficult. Because they have the argument at the beginning of like, you stay home all day, and I go to work, and it's really hard, and da-da-da-da.
Right.
And, you know, he sees the error of his ways and realizes, no, it's hard on both parties. We need to come together and work together. So.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's why Kevin Spacey's becoming a cat this summer.
That's the reason why?
Yeah.
Why would that?
Yeah, because he's going to learn the hardships of being a cat.
He went to a mystical pet store owned by Christopher Walken. Do you want me to read the summary again?
No, don't do it.
I'll do it.
I still can't believe that made you number one.
It was an obvious choice, but really, that was the first one I could think of, and I couldn't get rid of it, that the best Mr. Mom was Mr. Mom himself. And that's actually one of the reasons people didn't really accept him as Batman at first, because of his comedic talent in Mr. Mom and Beetlejuice and Gung-Ho, stuff like that. So
I have an honorable mention really quick. It's Dustin Hoffman from Kramer versus Kramer. I almost said Kramer v. Kramer, Dawn of Justice.
When did the Justice dawn in Batman v. Superman?
It didn't.
Why not just call it Batman v. Superman? Why Dawn of Justice?
They had to because they want you to know what's coming. When they had all those cameos, that was the Dawn of Justice. Are we talking about this again? For real?
I just think it's kind of like they should just call it Batman v. Superman.
Let's just scratch Mom Day and talk about Batman v. Superman.
Anyways, when Superman finally decides,
Kramer v. Kramer, which was the Best Picture winner, right? In 1981, 1982?
In the 80s, because that's when they basically had all the family dramas win.
That's probably wrong.
But he reluctantly has to take on the role of this single father because his wife, Meryl Streep, leaves.
Those are actually the best sequences, I think, of the whole movie is when he's being mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, I can take him to the park, but now I don't know what else to do. I have to feed him. Anyways, this is just my honorable mention, but I do think he really rose to the task.
1979.
Okay. And I think he is a great version of a Mr. Mom. But the winner for my best Mr. Mom is Big Daddy from Kick Butt.
Oh, I thought you...
I'm like,
I thought you
Adam
meant Big Daddy,
Sandler?
Adam Sandler.
What?
No.
That would have been a choice that would have worked.
It would have worked, but
I'm
no,
like picking my job
I'm
off the
going
floor.
Nicolas Cage, Big Daddy from Kick Butt.
You can say kick arse. It's okay.
Kick arse. Granted, is he the best father figure? No,
He shoots the first scene is him shooting his daughter in the chest while she's wearing a bulletproof vest.
but the guy is like, you know what? I'm going to train her in something, and she is going to be the best at it. And that is exactly what happens.
That's a pretty good choice, actually, I have to admit.
Yeah, and the kind of relationship...
Honey fly, honey bunch.
The relationship they have is golden, even though it's based on murder. You know, kick-arse won't kill people, and these two come in and they just slice people up.
Beautiful father-daughter relationship based on murder.
Right. That's honestly probably the best part of the movie is them together and basically how Hit Girl responds to everything that's happening based on how she's been taught by her crazy, and it is crazy father.
He's got a screw loose, but that actually is a pretty good choice. I didn't even think about that one, but you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
random one.
All right, good choice.
Yeah. All right, let's go to most loving.
Most
Okay.
loving.
I will go first.
Please do.
Which one,
Lorraine
Did you want-
McFly from Back to the Future.
What kind of loving are we talking about?
That took me I'm like, why was it? Okay.
Oh, that's terrible.
She's just a little too
Wait,
loving.
Is that your real choice?
Dude,
Yeah.
I remember
Oh,
watching
no.
that as a kid and like looking around the room like, this is getting awkward.
No, you see, as a kid, I didn't really catch on to what was going on. It was kind of like, oh, this is weird. But as I got older and realized how awkward it was, those scenes became almost unbearable for me when she's trying to put the moves on.
Unbearable.
Yeah, like
is the
Calvin
answer.
Klein. I mean,
Mel
seeing,
Gibson and Hamlet, uncomfortable.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, kind of terrible.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean,
Most loving.
I mean,
Best answer ever.
A different interpretation. of this.
MVP just for that. Kid.
yeah.
You have no right to declare that.
Thank you.
I do. I'm handing the Kate picture off.
Aw, I'll take it. But no, kind of weirdly loving. In a weird, yeah.
Okay. That's
Most loving. Gross.
Joel?
I feel sick.
I went more traditional. In fact, I went super traditional and went with June Cleaver from Leave It to Beaver.
Oh, absolutely.
She is the iconic 50s sitcom mom. And I would say sitcom mom in general. Like, it was the whole, dress and pearls and house is perfect and life is perfect. But she loved her kids. And you knew this because every time they get in trouble, she would be the very kind, very loving mother who would then tell them what they did wrong. And it always turned out for the better and they learned some sort of lesson out of it. But she's like the iconic loving mother and kind of I think the example a lot of moms are comparing themselves against, which is unfair because she's fictional.
It's funny. I was researching this too, and I was actually looking at sitcoms because we know sitcoms moms to be the most loving, I would say. But I was trying to think of other ones like Carol Brady and a lot of other ones, and I'm like, they're incredibly loving. But from remembering the shows, they're very concerned a lot.
They were.
And it was just like, oh, I'm worried about the children. And I know that's love, clearly. But June Cleaver.
I don't care what they do.
June Cleaver was like unconditional love regardless.
Yeah, the way Barbara Billingsley played that, it was just, I've never even seen her in anything else. And I almost don't want to because I don't want to taint that image of her as this perfect mother type.
Yeah. Watch her play like a serial killer in like an old 50s movie or something like that.
Yeah. I wonder
Maybe.
if she had.
That's it.
Research.
Indeed.
Let's go worst reality TV mom.
Now, I had a hard time with this one because I don't watch a lot of reality TV. So I went with my gut and my first instinct on this one, and I went with Sharon Osbourne.
Really?
Now
Because-
tell us who that is.
Sharon Osbourne is the wife of Ozzy Osbourne, who was on the reality show The Osbournes. Their last name's Osbourne. And just help me out there, Jake.
I know who it is.
You didn't watch Married with Children.
I never really watched the show. I saw so many clips because it was everywhere at the time. Like, it was such a popular show. I could not stand clips with her in it because she was either doing something terrible or talking. And I can't stand her voice.
Wait, which is worse?
I don't know.
Can you do a Sharon Osbourne?
I can't read. Ozzy, what you doing?
That's actually really good.
Oh, but she's been like kind of an awful person. Like, she's done a couple different things where it's been in the news and then she has to apologize and things like that. And I feel like she's just not a good example for her children. And this is me being terrible because she's a real person, so it feels a little weird to bash on her. I'm sure she has her reasons and has her good moments.
Sure, she's a listener too.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, Miss Osborne. But she's had her share of bashing on people, too. Like, apparently she this is unconfirmed, but apparently she allegedly hired people to throw things like eggs and tomatoes and whatnot at Iron Maiden when they played at Ozfest because of something Bruce Dickinson... No. Maybe. Yeah, but someone in Iron Maiden basically talked against a reality show. Mm-hmm. She says that's like an attack against Ozzy, so she hired people to throw things at him during the concert. Allegedly.
And we're going behind the whole, theme of reality TV. These parents are generally awful people. They're willing to sign up their kids to be videotaped and kind of have ruined lives to begin with.
Well, and my second runner-up, I hope this doesn't ruin your joke if you had it, Ken. But
no, go for it.
My second runner-up is Any Mom on Dance Moms.
Right?
Oh my gosh, that's great.
I couldn't pick out any specific because I've never watched the show because it makes me so uncomfortable to watch. And even just the thought of these moms are putting their poor daughters through this. If their daughters want to do it, fine, whatever. But the way these pageant moms and dance moms are trying to force their kids into this when they don't want to do it makes me sick.
Yeah. So you mean like who I would say the queen mom, and this isn't my choice, but Kris Jenner would be, I'd say, the queen mom of reality TV.
Really?
I would say so.
Well, I think, yeah, definitely now.
But she's not my choice. Neither was Mama June from Honey Boo Boo. And
I forgot about Mama June.
Mama June has done some pretty terrible things.
Yeah.
And she makes sketty.
Ugh. Go-Go Juice, is that what it's called?
Ugh. And actually, I hated this category on this whole list because I felt like it tainted the list.
You picked this category.
I did, and so
whoever made this is an idiot.
Hey, so I can go against myself sometimes.
That's fine.
But I was looking at even if we go into some more interesting categories or great moms, that sort of thing, I'm like, reality just kind of taints the whole thing.
It really does.
Well, I mean, in John and Kate +8 and stuff like that, it's
Kate Gosselin is my choice.
There you go. I was going to say I did watch some of that, only I think maybe a handful of episodes, maybe 5 or something like that, but I just couldn't take it.
I feel like John and Kate +8 started as this experiment. It was earlier days of TLC, and they wanted to see
the bills.
Yeah, and they wanted to see how it would go because it's interesting to have 8 kids. I think she took that and ran. Right. She became a fame monster. Everything became publicized, whether it was their separation and divorce. That became a TV special.
Yes.
She moved on to her own show, Kate +8, because she just couldn't let go.
She went on Dancing with the Stars and made us all awkward and uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh!
Try to dance.
I've never laughed at reality TV as much as I have.
I didn't
in
see
that
it.
episode of Dancing with the Stars.
You need to see it.
It's on YouTube.
You need to see it. It's insane.
It's cringeworthy, but you're like, I feel like I can laugh at her. I feel like I can mock her openly.
Yeah. Although the thing is, I still feels weird bashing on real people. I'm just like, oh no, I feel bad. My conscience, Ken. It's a conscience.
She would be happy that we're even talking about her at this point.
Probably true. Those guys in Baconsale mentioned me. I'm still hip.
You guys want me as a guest?
No. Well, maybe.
Big retainer fee. No.
Maybe.
No.
I'm willing to sell out if it means more listeners.
No.
I know. Probably not.
That is a soundbite right there.
It is. Totally the opposite of the truth.
So Kate Gosselin is the worst reality TV mom.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I didn't mean to steal your thunder there. Sorry about that.
No, it led right in.
Yeah.
All right.
We're being way too agreeable on this show. I think we need to disagree more.
I think
we're not picking the same people, though.
But it's just such a loving mom show right now.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, that is kind of the tempo here.
If my mom were to listen to the show, I'd like it to be agreeable as much as possible. Love you, Mom.
All right. Who's the funniest mom? Right. I mean, funniest, not reality TV funny, what's wrong with her funny, but,
The funniest mom.
I'm interested to see what you say.
And this is really, really tough. But I stand by my answer.
Okay.
It's Ma from Golden Girls.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a clever choice.
Sophia?
Sophia Petrella.
That's what it is, yeah.
She is the funniest mom.
She's pretty entertaining. But she's not the mom of all 3, we should clarify.
No, just of Dorothy.
Yes. And Dorothy is Betty White?
No.
No, B. Arthur. B. Arthur.
Yeah, B. Arthur.
Yeah.
I was like, Rue McClanahan, Betty White, B. Arthur.
It's not Rue McClanahan, I know that, but...
And fun fact, and we've talked about this before, but Ma was actually the youngest actor on set.
Yeah.
By 2 years.
Yeah.
And she played the mom of Dorothy.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Because basically she looked like Yoda.
Dun, 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 dun. Thank you. She looks like Ma's...
Maz Kanata.
Yeah.
Yeah, she really does.
I can see that. I totally cut off my own singing.
I know. It's like, keep going, keep going. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. We could keep going, but we have sang this entire song on another show. I'll just pull that clip and we'll play it again.
Just drop it in here. Okay.
But I was looking over quotes from Golden Girls.
Yeah. No.
The best quotes. And it's so funny how lines of dialogue were set up to be finished by Ma. Ma was always the one that finished it off because they'd always say something like kind of boastful or something like that.
Right.
And then Ma would basically put them in their place.
She was the American version of the Dowager Countess.
Yeah, no, truly. Like, and she was, I mean, there was Betty White. Betty White.
Freudian slip.
Yeah. I was just gonna say.
And she was kind of like the dumb comic relief. And there was obviously Blanche, who was, the dark horse there. And I'll just say that. And they all had funny things to say, but it was always Ma who made fun of them.
So remember we talked about Maggie Smith being 80?
Yes.
81? Was it something like that?
81.
Guess how old Betty White is? 94.
Wow.
94?
94.
I just saw her on a trailer or some sort of teaser just like a couple days
I
ago.
thought you meant like, I just saw her in a trailer out back.
She's doing a
filming
press
out
tour.
there. Yeah.
So I do have a quote from Ma, and I just thought this one was perfect. This is perfect, Sophia. She says, I think she's talking about Dorothy's boyfriend. And she says, there's just something I don't like about him. I can't put my finger on it, but if I did, I'd have to wash it. Like, I was like, that's perfect.
It's great writing. It's great writing.
Yeah.
And it's a great character. Good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing but love here.
What's going on?
My pick for funniest is actually Lois. Not Griffin.
Okay, good.
I knew.
Good.
I Kent looked at me like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to jump across this table and kill you. Lois, and she doesn't have a last name, from Malcolm in the Middle.
Wait, what?
You never learn.
They don't have a last name?
You don't learn that. Well, there is a last name, but you can find it if it's out there. But it is out there. But most of the series, the running gag is you don't know their last name.
In all the years Malcolm went to school, they never say his last name.
They never say his last name. And in fact, at his graduation, and like one of the final episodes, they're like, next up, we have our valedictorian, Malcolm, like feedback right then.
What?
Yeah. But like they have, like, if you look on, I think it's Francis's name tag, it says like private, whatever his name was. And I don't even, I think it's like Wilkerson or something like that. But it doesn't matter because Lois is, she's a hilarious mom. If you haven't watched Malcolm in the Middle, she's the mother of four boys. And the boys are kind of insane in the sense they're just rambunctious.
Yes.
And she rules with an iron fist. Like, they still do terrible things. And she is so good at manipulating them and terrorizing them and getting what she wants. And the boys fall in step a lot of times, but then they rebel later. Also, Bryan Cranston makes a great husband for her. They have a great chemistry.
He's just
together.
a foil for everything.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, just the character is amazing. But she never admits she's wrong, and she's always just like, she's always has to be right. There's actually a very funny episode where she thinks that she was right. They finally prove that she was wrong in this car accident kind of thing. And then they find videotape that proves that she was right the whole time, that someone like drove a wrong way or something like that. They pull it out of the VCR and they're like, we're going to burn this and we're never going to show her. She has to know she was wrong at least once. But it's a funny, funny show, and I love the character, and I love you, Mom, but we always joke around that this is the one that's very similar to my mom.
I wondered if I don't know if that's a compliment.
No, it is, though, because she loves her boys. She really does, and she just has to get after. They're terrible boys, and she has to get after them all the time. That's why she is so manipulative, basically. My mom was never that manipulative. She's much more funny.
You have 3 boys in your family and 1 sister.
Right. And so
same in their family. Didn't they have a youngest daughter?
No, it's another son, actually. Jamie.
No way, really?
Yeah, it's another boy. That's the thing. They always wanted a girl. And they have a whole episode where she dreams she has girls. But she's a hilarious actress. She does a wonderful job on the show. If you haven't watched Malcolm in the Middle, I highly recommend it, especially if you have brothers.
Okay.
All right. What mom is supportive for all the wrong reasons?
This is actually Lois Griffin. Funny you put those two
You're bringing
together.
in Family Guy now?
I'm bringing in Family Guy because while Marge Simpson, we've referenced her. She stays by Homer, who is a fool and does a lot of dumb stuff, but he really is a good guy. Peter Griffin's a terrible human being, a terrible person, does not deserve a wife who supports him like Lois supports him. Lois Griffin I don't hate Family Guy as much as Kent does. I enjoyed it for a time. I don't really watch it anymore. But I did enjoy Lois's role in that household. Just that kind of, she almost at first was a straight man playing to all these crazy characters.
Yeah.
But then she herself also kind of has this crazy side. And I find that entertaining whenever those little cracks of it come out, like, that she used to be a drug addict, or she has kleptomania and things like that.
Yeah.
It's funny when that comes out, but she really should not be with Peter Griffin. I think that's just not a good match. And
No, probably not.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
For me, the supporter for all the wrong reasons is Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones.
Ooh.
I'm going a little dark here again.
Yeah.
I guess there's a theme here.
Yeah.
She is such a loving mother, and I think that's all you can say about her character in this show.
Yeah.
Like, the only real good thing is that she wants her kids to succeed, and she will do anything to make that happen.
Anything. Like, I want to stress, if you're thinking of it, yes.
Yeah, she has done it or will do it.
Yeah. Now, I am mid-season 5, and, with clear play, I'll get through that in like a half hour. But so no spoilers here, but do you have any specific examples you can give? Or
Well, I mean, I'll just talk about Joffrey. She knows her son. He is a grade A psychopath.
Right.
He's her oldest child. He is, at one time next in line for the throne and then becomes king.
Is it only child?
No, she has 3 altogether. But Joffrey is the one. He's the oldest. He gets the birthright.
Yeah.
And she doesn't care that he's
also a
crazy.
demon.
She is actually afraid of him, but doesn't care. She will wipe out anyone to make sure he stays in power.
because it means a cushy life for her too.
Oh, absolutely. I would say she's one of the worst mother-in-laws to have as well, because anyone who's interested in like her sons or daughter or whatever, she'll make their lives awful. Absolutely awful, meaning like life-threateningly awful. So yeah, Cersei Lannister, very, very supportive. Probably not for the right reasons.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay, so let's see if you follow up, Kent, with the same answer. What mom is most attractive?
Did we pick the same one for this?
Okay.
I felt there was an obvious choice, and so I had to come up with runner-ups, because I had one that I was like, well, that's obvious.
I'm just going to say this. Hey, Missy. I mean, Mom.
Well, wait, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Yeah, Missy from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
It took me a second to...
Hey, Missy. I mean, Mom.
It's, for those of you who haven't seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, his mom remarries a girl that's practically Bill and Ted's age.
Yeah.
And they're super attracted to her, but it's his stepmom, and so it's kind of funny.
So being a youth watching this movie, and the fact that they had such like a hot mom driving a cool red sports car,
Yeah.
I was like, she's way hot. And I never thought I wanted to be my mom like Lorraine McFly style, but I was like, man, that's awesome.
That was your first
it basically just instantly created this crush that I had.
Well,
because she was portrayed as this hot mom, and I'm
Right.
like, yep.
Well, I'm not going to get into details here because I don't want to know. But we all had the friend's mom who we thought was cute growing up. It was like,
Right.
oh, she's pretty, all that. And so I think that was kind of the ultimate of that. It's like she's almost your age, even, and she's not, But yeah. Anyway.
And then I said like honorable mentions like Vivica A. Fox in Independence Day back
Wow.
when she was very attractive.
Okay.
And Rose Byrne in any movie because she usually plays the mom. So Rose Byrne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good choices.
Roseburn, who's that?
She's in X-Men First Class. She's in Neighbors with Seth Rogen.
She's in Insidious.
Yes. She's the mom in Insidious.
Oh, yes.
She's a mom in
Would
that
you
one.
agree?
I do agree, yeah.
She is a mom in that one.
Yeah. And kind of an Annie, too, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Roseburn.
Well, I went with my obvious one was Kate Beckinsale in Click as Donna Newman.
I actually was looking for roles where Kate Beckinsale was a mom, and I was like, why am I struggling here?
She's a mom in that one, and she's a very attractive mom. My runners-up were Samantha from Bewitched. I had a huge crush on Samantha.
Even
up.
now, like, could you look at...
Yeah,
Okay.
I still think that she's a very attractive woman. Why can't I remember her name?
She's got this like bell-shaped hairdo. I don't know what
What's
that
wrong
style
with it?
was
What's wrong
called,
with the
but it
bells?
was, I don't know. It just kind of throws me off.
Yeah, Elizabeth Montgomery, that's her name.
Yes.
And also I put Morticia from the Addams Family. I also find her...
Angelica Houston?
No, the original Addams Family black and white series.
I know. I was giving you. Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought she was attractive. Not as much Lily Munster, although she's fine. But
Yeah.
Morticia Addams, I don't know. Something there.
Something there.
Something there for Dr. Matt.
I think there's something there I haven't seen before. I'll tell you when you're older.
Okay.
All right, next one.
All right. Best adoptive mom.
My choice for best adopted mom was actually Molly Weasley from Harry Potter.
Do tell.
Because she has her Weasley clan, who she rules with an iron fist, and she's very stern with them. And then Harry...
There's a theme here.
Yes.
Okay.
Harry has no mom. Well, he does, but, she can only talk to him through pictures and mirrors.
Sounds weird.
It does a little bit. But
You could just say she's dead.
he doesn't.
She's dead in the magic world.
He has a couple father figures in the movies, like Dumbledore or spoiler alert, Sirius Black. And I think that the mother figure was really lacking until Molly Weasley really took him in and took care of him. And I love that relationship because she will be just chastising her kids and turn around and be like, "Oh, Harry dear, I'm not mad at you," until he deserves it. And then she gets after him like any good mom should and disciplines him for doing things, especially when he's living under her roof. He has to abide by her rules. And she's so loving and so kind to him as an adoptive mother. And she's pretty awesome to her own kids as well, including zapping Bellatrix Lestrange.
Does that
Spoiler alert.
make it weird, though, that Harry hooks up with his adoptive sister?
No,
Ginny?
because
Super weird.
No, I mean, I called some of my friends.
Kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
I called some of my friends mom too, just like mom. Another name for, I called him that name.
Wait, what?
Like some of my other friends.
Should we talk to Dr. Matt real quick?
No, like I called, like my closest friends, I called their mom's mom too.
But then did you hook up with their daughters?
No, well.
That's what I'm asking.
No.
It's crossed his mind, apparently.
Well,
I did take one of my
there was a hesitation there.
They're not related.
No.
It's not like that makes the relationship weird with the ones, the sisters.
Well, they bring you in and you
The
live
daughters.
there and stuff. Then it kind of changes it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's when Harry and Ginny
And
fell
it's
in
like,
love.
how did this start? What is going on here?
There's nothing
I'm talking
weird
about Harry Potter and Ginny because,
Well, that felt like it was tacked on at the end anyway.
yeah.
It was.
But Molly Weasley would be my number one choice. My runner-up, actually, is Carol Brady from The Brady Bunch. And I know it's weird to give her the runner-up because she was the ultimate adoptive mom. But I honestly forgot about her until last minute and had to throw her in somewhere. So she's an honorable mention as adoptive mom.
I feel like she deserves more, but I didn't put her on my list anyway.
Yeah.
No, I was talking to
You
someone.
guys just don't want cliches.
I was
that's all.
talking to Amy, and she said, "Oh, you're doing your mom's show?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "You mentioned Carol Brady, right?" And I was like, "Grow up!"
Here we go. Typing it up now. The mom I think is the best adoptive mom is Ellen Ripley from the Alien quadrilogy.
Oh, and Newt.
Yes. So Ellen Ripley, not the first one, she takes care of a cat.
Is that the cat?
That's
no.
the girl.
But in the second movie, Aliens, she finds basically a lone survivor on this planet where everyone has been killed by aliens. She reluctantly takes her in and does a lot of good for her because this girl is like Newt the Mute, basically.
She doesn't talk very much.
She won't say anything. She's afraid of everything. And Ellen is so tough, as we well know, that she kind of gets her to a place where she is confident and comfortable. This all changes in the...
And then she becomes Winona Ryder.
No, she doesn't.
I know.
In the beginning of Alien 3, ruined everything because that could have been a great story.
Yeah.
It's actually supposed to be fixed in the newer Alien movie, not the Prometheus sequel, but the other movie.
Oh.
Newt and Hicks are supposed to be alive.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's interesting.
Also
They're
in...
working on 2 productions of Alien right now?
Yeah.
Well, Prometheus is like the prequels to the
And there's going to be
Right.
a sequel, kind of like a Superman to Richard Donner style to Superman Returns thing, or X-Men Days of Future Past.
What a tired idea. Why are
It's
they doing
such
this?
a tired idea.
It is very tired.
But also in the fourth Alien movie, and this is when Winona Ryder shows up, there's this really strange thing at the end where there's an alien-human hybrid, and it calls Sigourney Weaver, Mama, before eating like the mother alien
And then it
stuff.
hits her with a pan and says, "Not the mama."
It does kind of look like that baby
reference.
dinosaur. It's a really creepy sort of Oedipus thing going on there.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, where has the series gone? And it's clear that's a reason that's why the series disappeared for many, many years. And we'll see what happens in the future. But I think she is a good adoptive mom, whether to Newt or to aliens.
Also,
Because that's what
aliens.
becomes.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
All right. I'm wondering if this will be the same answer. I kind of want to change it. But anyway, what's the best apocalypse mom? This is the mom you'd want after the apocalypse comes.
I think this is going to be the same answer.
Oh, okay, so 3, 2, 1. Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Easily.
incarnation of Sarah Connor, though? Because you have Linda Hamilton doing it in the movies. In the initial movies.
Yeah, but who would win in a fight, Joel, between Ripley and Sarah Connor?
Are we going to go back to this? Remember, this is round 1.
Yeah, that was difficult times.
It was.
And then you have Amelia Clarke from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
And then you have Lena Headey.
I'm actually going to go anti-cliche here. I'm going to go Lena Headey from...
The Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah, Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Why did they name it that?
I mean, granted, and just the only reason I'm not mentioning Linda Hamilton is because I'm assuming you may, because she is the toughest woman on film, I believe.
Yeah.
I mean, not only like muscle-wise,
Yeah.
but she is just so cool.
Yeah.
Lena Headey in the TV series, she actually has it more together. I think Linda Hamilton is a little bit shell-shocked.
Yeah, especially in Terminator 2.
Yes. Things are going wrong, and she dealt with, Arnie being bad in the first one, and now she's trying to adjust. In Sarah Connor Chronicles, she has it way more put together, way better plans of action to actually protect herself and her son.
Right.
And I just think she's actually a great character. I really enjoyed that TV series. Kind of bummed that it got canceled.
Well, I mean, and you look at the difference. I'm jumping to Linda Hamilton now, but you look at the difference from Terminator 1, where she's kind of just a girl who's caught up in this thing and freaking out. And then by number 2, she is ripped and doing pull-ups and able to, survive and do a bunch of awesome martial arts stuff and stabbing people with needles. And
yeah,
it's insane to see the character development, and that's what I really enjoyed. And I would love to have Sarah Connor on my side when the robot apocalypse hits.
Or zombies or anything.
Well, mostly robots.
I kind of like...
I don't know how she'd fare against zombies.
Oh, come on. I actually like how she's been portrayed in every version, even Genesis, which obviously wasn't a great movie.
Sega
but
Genesis?
Genesis, I should say. Like, she's not played as this, weak character. It's Reese who comes in, and he's the weaker character, doesn't really get what's going on, and she's the one saying, "Come with me if you want to live." I'm like, I like that she's always been tough. Even in the first one, she plays a victim for a little bit, but she really overcomes that quickly.
Yeah.
And so I think Sarah Connor is the way to go. She is one of the toughest women in cinema.
All right. Wow, we agreed on that one.
Yeah. High five.
What mom's most overbearing?
Most overbearing mom. I'm going to... Ken, you want to go first or you want to go first?
I'll go first. Actually, I want you to go first.
We may have the same one on this one, too.
I don't think we do.
Okay, I chose Margaret White from Carrie.
Okay, I did not do that.
Okay. So the movie Carrie, it makes me super uncomfortable.
Overbearing, that's
an understatement.
That's a huge
understatement. But the thing is, I don't really like Carrie. I don't like the movie. And I think one of the reasons is because the mom makes me so uncomfortable. How she is so just... I mean, she's insane. And if you don't know, she's portrayed as a super, super religious character that finds anything relating to female maturation as just sinful and awful and terrible, and it's because you did something wrong. Mm-hmm. And she is, I mean, I was just reading through her fictional bio in the book, which is a lot more detailed than the movie, and I'm just like, wow, that did not make me like her anymore.
Yeah.
And just the way that anytime Carrie would try to do anything, and she'd beat her and lock her in the closet, make her say, recite prayers and things like that. And then her stupid voice that, no, they're all going to laugh at you.
Ugh.
It really unsettled me. And when I thought overbearing, the first thing I thought was that mom, because she's just terrible. That character is terrible.
Yes.
She's easily the most horrific part of Carrie.
Isn't that weird? Because it's a movie.
Much worse than the murder.
It really was.
No, it's weird because that movie's all about this girl who develops powers and they go haywire.
Yeah.
And then there's a crazy, crazy mom in the background.
It's all about the crazy mom. That's the only thing I remember from the movie. It's like, oh, yeah,
Right.
I've seen girls with powers before. But
It's
that
kinda
mom was insane.
It's kind of like Pet Sematary. Like, yeah, animals are rising from the dead, but there's also Sister Zelda.
Oh.
You know?
Oh, no, I don't know, Gage. Gage freaked me out, too. So.
No fair.
Oh,
No
God,
fair.
stop. Creepy little boy.
For me, the most overbearing mom is Mum from Dead Alive. This is a movie made in 1992 by Peter Jackson.
Hey, he did Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, weird, huh? Have you seen Dead Alive?
I have not seen Dead Alive yet. I've seen so many clips of it.
Oh,
though.
my word.
I haven't seen Dead Alive.
Oh, man. I'm going to turn on ClearPlay for you and then just kind of secretly turn it off because you need to see this movie in all of its glory. It's one of the bloodiest movies I've ever seen.
The blood stuff doesn't bother me. It's all special effects.
Right. And this movie is so much fun to watch. If you love horror comedy, this is almost the beginning.
This is splatter horror. I
Splatter.
want to warn you. This is like lawnmower to the face.
There's a scene
splatter.
where Lionel, the hero, the reluctant hero, takes a lawnmower to a party of people, and it's ketchup flying. I mean, that's what it is.
He picks it up and like shoves it at people, and there's red.
It's actually
spraying everywhere.
an amazingly funny scene. It is glorious.
Is it weird that it just makes me laugh?
No, it's supposed to.
It's very campy. Like it's like an Evil Dead kind of thing where it's just like it's very tongue in cheek.
So Mom, she lives with her son, or her son lives with her, and she basically won't let him be in any relationship. This is how the movie starts out. He meets a girl at the zoo, and she's spying on them, and that's when she gets bit by a rabid spider monkey that basically causes the zombie outbreak.
It's just tired, this trope, right? Being bitten by rabid, what was it? Monkey zombie?
Rabid spider monkey.
Spider monkey, yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's a rabbit or rat monkey. I'm sorry, spider monkey actually exists. In this movie, it's a rat monkey.
There you go.
And it's a claymation creature, by the way, in this movie. So she becomes this zombie that he has to take care of, and she's very passive aggressive as a zombie.
Okay.
But then in the end, and this is why I say overbearing, she becomes this literally giant zombie, and she swallows him up in her womb.
Oh my gosh!
Like he gets swallowed up, and he has to burst his way out.
Do you call Dr. Matt?
No, it is. I mean, it's the intention there is obvious.
It is.
And so she is I think she's easily the most overbearing because it's a great character. Lionel's a great character. Go see this movie immediately.
Okay. See you guys later.
You guys
Right now.
both show some pretty horrific characters for overbearing.
Right.
You know, overbearing is like. I think we have different definitions of overbearing.
The other one I thought, like, I didn't really do it as much because I was going to do Nicolas Cage's mom in Honeymoon in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Because right before she dies, she says, "Never get married." And then he's like, "I don't know about that." And then she dies. And the whole rest of the movie, he has this haunting over her. But she's not really part of the movie. It's just that first statement. She never wants to get married. And then she dies. And it's kind of overbearing because then he has to follow that.
Yeah.
Because it was her last wish.
Who's the most annoying?
Well, right now?
No, it's easily Ken. So
The most annoying mom
yeah.
in history is Betty Draper from Mad Men.
Oh, good choice. I didn't put
She
her.
is the worst. My honorable mention is Mama from Mama's Family because I hate her and I hate that show. But Betty Draper is the worst mom.
She's awful.
One of the worst people that's ever lived on this fictional planet.
I kept hoping that she would pull it together sometime during the series. She doesn't.
She doesn't.
And the show is it's really nothing happens, and that's pretty much the plot.
Right.
But
yeah, it's actually less than Downton
but
Abbey.
Dawn Draper is married to Betty Draper, and Dawn is a complete womanizer. And so Betty's at home, and she has 2 kids, but she hates being a mom and hates her life, and it's just she's miserable.
Yes.
And then they make her fat for a season, and then
Like Battlestar
Then she gets
Galactica.
instead of Fat Adam, it's Fat Betty, and then she goes back to normal, and it's like it never happened.
All she really does is she sits there.
They were actually covering up a pregnancy. So
She smokes all day long, and like her son will come up to her and be like, "Mom, I'm bored," and she says, "Go bang your head against a wall," like without even blinking. Then she says, "Only boring people are bored." I mean, which is a Harvey Danger line, but still.
I was going to say I've said to my kids more than once because of Harvey Danger, if you're bored, then you're boring.
Yeah, so I mean, she just doesn't care, and she never does. I found several instances where she is actually like demeaning to her kids. I don't think she's ever said a loving word, and I can't stand January Jones or Betty Draper.
Which is weird because January Jones is super attractive, but because of her
I can't find her attractive
because
at
of that
all.
role, it's difficult for me to find her attractive.
Exactly.
Last Man on Earth is helping.
Okay,
So-
okay.
Oh,
Joel,
she's kind of annoying in that one too.
She is.
most annoying?
My most annoying character is actually Roseanne Connor from Roseanne.
Oh, gosh.
It's a strange cartoon version, but
I'll see you guys later. I have never been a big Roseanne fan. I watched the show, though. For some reason, I kept watching the show. I don't like it, and I didn't like her. I thought her comedy, the shrill voice combined with her comedy, didn't work for me. And I'm especially mad at the show because of how it ended. And so that kind of makes it even more annoying because, spoiler alert, at the end of season 8. At the end of season 8, they're at a wedding, and Dan, her husband, has a heart attack. Season 9 picks up, and she ends up winning the lottery, and things are going great, and her family's living the high life. And then you find out at the end of season 9, this is all a dream or a story that she wrote because Dan died, and she couldn't cope.
Yep.
And it's just a horrible ending to the series that was a kind of a lighthearted series. They had their moments of, a very special episode.
Yeah.
But this was just kind of cutting off the legs and really just made a sour taste in my mouth.
Kind of weird that her daughter was replaced in the middle and she never even noticed, too.
Twice. Like they actually...
Twice?
They switched to
Sarah Chalk.
Chalk from Scrubs, Elliot. She swaps out with the daughter and plays her for a couple seasons. And then it swaps back to the original daughter. And then
They make one meta joke about it. Like,
That is
where have you
so
been?
awkward.
It was just awkward.
I believe it was twice. I'm pretty sure, but
Yeah.
Anyway, so Roseanne, I just couldn't take that comedy, and I just can't take her voice, and I find that
It's really too bad because the way that show started out, like it's so much potential, and in fact, it was hilarious. The Halloween episodes alone are fantastic.
I actually do like the Halloween episodes of Roseanne.
But then I think Roseanne, the person, got a little too into herself.
Yeah.
Her personal drama got involved in the show too.
Yeah.
And it just got soiled.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people like that show, and they're not going to agree with that. But they may agree she's annoying because she can still be annoying and still be a good show. Because I watched the show, just too annoying for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's go most abusive and tell me how on earth is possibly more than Carrie's mom.
Mine was actually Cersei Lannister.
Was it really? Wait, most abusive to her kids?
Abusive. No, not to her kids. I just mean
To other people's kids out of windows?
Exactly. I wasn't going to say specifically who, but
Right.
she has killed. She has manipulated. She is just mentally abusive to anyone who dares to even come close to betraying her. Not even betraying her, just going against her. And she is just... She's abusive. And to her own kids, she protects them. Like, they're hers.
Yes.
She's a mama bear kind of thing. But to everyone else, she's just an abusive, horrible person. So I actually had her on most manipulative, and I was dancing back and forth. But in the end, I went with most abusive, Cersei Lannister.
Okay, so my most abusive is actually Carrie's mom, Margaret White. Because this is, to me, this is very clear. I mean, like, all the stuff you went over, she believes her daughter is a witch.
Yeah.
And she will do everything she can to stop her from living. She stabs her own daughter in the back.
Literally. Like
literally.
Not figuratively.
And she locks her in the closet. I mean, everything. Beats her with a Bible. This is a really bad upbringing.
Yeah. It's kind of overbearing, too.
She's a lot of this, except for she's not most loving. I think everything but most loving in this list is Carrie's mom.
There's a couple there that I wouldn't put her on.
Most attractive?
That's exactly.
Well, I don't know. If that's your thing. Anyways, that would be my choice.
We've already talked about her, but
Actually, Mr. Mom. That was probably a good one. All right, let's go to inspirational then.
Most inspirational is Forrest Gump's mom.
oh, what?
The character is basically a
I
hallmark.
am disagreeing
Walking hallmark. Everything she says is meant for a poster quote.
Yeah, dude, but aren't you kind
No.
of thrown off by the beginning when she gets him into the school?
Yeah, how she gets him into the school.
Yeah, like
Like that
Remind me.
No. You remember the old man coming
will
over to her house
require
and
noises.
Forrest has to sit down on the stage.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. Holy cow.
when you say Forrest
Most
Mom,
inspirational.
that's what I think of first is her.
that actually ruined it for me too, because I was like, there's lines.
I
here.
totally forgot about that.
Well, apparently that's what you find
Apparently
inspirational.
you were inspired.
Well, apparently I'm playing the part of Forrest, who is very ignorant because everything he knows of his mom.
You're not planning to send your kids to a private school.
No.
are you? That you can't afford.
Everything he knows are nice quotes. It's obviously life is a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get.
Right.
You can tell a lot about a person by their shoes, where they go, where they've
Stupid
been.
is as stupid does.
And death is just a part of life. And like everything she says after she gets him into school, it's inspirational. I am going to retract my vote.
I don't know. I think it's pretty written in stone
Right.
now. My choice may be a little unorthodox, but I think you'll agree, Kent.
Okay.
I went with Mrs. Brisby from The Secret of Nim.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So The Secret of Nim is, if you don't know it, it's the animated feature that gave us all nightmares back in the 80s.
Yes, it did.
It's, what is his name? What's his name? The guy that does all these. Don Bluth.
Yeah, Don Bluth.
Don Bluth did the movie. It's one of those animated ones that wasn't Disney because it was a little too dark. It's about, experimenting on rats and things like that. But the whole point of the movie is that Mrs. Brisby is a timid field mouse and who has a little red hoodie thing, and her son is sick, and so they have to give him some medicine. And they live in this farmer's field, but the farmer's going to start plowing any day, and her son can't move for 3 days because he's sick. And so first of all, she has to go out and find the medicine, and then she has to figure out a way how to save her son without moving him, which, spoiler alert, they end up trying to move the house. And she goes through all sorts of scary things, like going to visit this owl, this really creepy owl with glowing eyes. Mm-hmm. She battles with scientists and all this different stuff. But in the end, she is just she's just a field mouse. And granted, she gets a little amulet that helps her get extra powers whenever she becomes courageous. But still, her trying to fight against this massive, unstoppable force really inspired me as a kid.
Okay.
So, Mrs. Brisby.
Tough mom right there.
Nice choice.
Secret of Nim.
That's my choice now, too.
All right, are you guys ready for the final one?
There should be final two, right?
Final one.
Oh, there's two.
We're skipping one of them. I'm saving it.
First, you're skipping Scariest?
Scariest Mom is going to be a good October episode.
Right, but we can talk about that real quick. I had a good one.
All right. Scariest Mom.
Okay,
I had a good one, too.
Is it the same one
Well,
I
I
had?
know
we
you
doing
guys will have a good
Scariest?
one. There's got to be some good material here.
Yeah.
So
Well, in Scariest Mom, I went with Pamela Voorhees. No?
I didn't.
Oh. So Pamela Voorhees, for those of you who don't know, spoiler alert, she is Jason Voorhees' mother, and she is actually the one who's killing everyone in Friday the 13th, Part 1.
Yes.
Because her son, Jason, who was disabled, went to the camp, and the counselors were fooling around and not paying attention.
Well said.
He drowned.
quite literally.
Yeah. He drowned, and so she sought vengeance. They closed the camp down because he drowned, but then she sought vengeance when they tried to reopen it, and she is an absolute psychopath. And the whole movie, you think it's Jason's ghost coming back to haunt you, but no, it's Pamela Voorhees. And not only that, she speaks in Jason's voice.
Yeah.
And says, like, kill her, mommy, kill her. And it's such a creepy scene.
It's just weird. Like, she looks like a mom. Like,
her mom face.
She's
is
wearing a
really
sweater.
disconcerting.
Yeah, you see her at first, you're like, oh, this is a nice mom with a nice mom sweater.
Yeah.
And
mom jeans.
Mom hair. And then she
Big
starts
knife.
stabbing people. And it's really scary. It's very unsettling. And it's because of her that her son, after she was, spoiler alert, she was killed, that, I like how I throw that in, is that people are going to go like, oh, pause. He said spoiler
Spoiler.
alert.
Oh, man.
Better pause until I see this movie. But then she's responsible for him becoming awakened from the bottom of the lake and becoming this giant killing monster, which has nothing to do with the boy in the first movie, but whatever.
Right.
Pamela Voorhees, my choice for scariest.
Mine is Norma Bates.
Oh,
Right.
I think these are almost equal, to be honest.
that's a good one.
Norma Bates, because, in the sequels, it never really makes it clear whether it's supernatural or not in the original. If we're just going by that,
Right.
It's not. This is just Norman being crazy. But the thing is,
Wait, so Norma or Norman as Norma?
I would say both, if I can. I mean, like, basically, because he has this other personality, it's not Norman anymore. It is this mother character taking over,
Right.
and making him kill residents of people coming to pay for his motel.
Well, anyone he's attracted to. He has
Yeah,
to kill.
basically. Like,
Yeah.
she controls his life. And there is a TV series out now, Bates Motel, which is all about actual Norma and Norman together.
Have you guys watched any of that?
I have not, but I watched
the
pretty good.
first 2 episodes or 3 episodes or something like that.
I can't remember if I got through season 1 or not, but I watched several.
I haven't
but
yet.
But it's basically, I think it's scary because it's the complete control in that he knows probably when it's kind of going to come up and he tries to stop it from happening, but he ends up becoming a mother anyways. And the fact that there is mother sitting up, like upstairs, looking at the
room,
window.
and then downstairs in the fruit cellar.
Oh, man.
Good stuff. Good
Yeah,
choice.
so good.
choice. I like it.
yeah, great choice.
All right.
Okay, now final one.
Final one.
All right, I've saved this for last. Which one do you wish was your mom? If you didn't have your mom.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I'm very happy with my mom. We had a great childhood growing up. But I'm
Nice
going
Blaze my
disclaimer.
mom in an
Hey,
instant with this lady.
Me too, Mom.
do we put the same one for Wish We Wish You My Mom?
I'll go first.
Please do.
Claire Huxtable.
Nope. Didn't put that.
What'd you put?
I put Marge Simpson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Marge Simpson?
Marge Simpson.
Really?
Yeah. I'll explain why, but Ken went first.
Claire Huxtable is the perfectly balanced mom. I think really she is the total package in terms of sitcom moms, which are, I think, probably some of the best moms. She is the voice of wisdom. She was hilarious. She has great understanding. And she just has this perfectly balanced life where she can go to work, raise a ton of kids at the same time, and she just has it all together. In fact, has to rein in her husband, which we're not going to mention her husband in this
I'm
case.
like, is this a total package deal? Because
I've been really resisting a Bill Cosby joke.
Like it's
just
really
keep
too bad
running through
because
my mind.
I think the Cosby Show is legendary, but now there's a taint on it.
yeah.
And it's awful. But Claire Huxtable, I think, is one of the best moms you could possibly find.
She is a really good mom.
Yeah.
It's a good choice.
it is a
Thank
good
you,
choice.
Joel.
You know, and I was really impressed with her acting ability when I saw Creed.
Yeah, no,
as
she was
well.
great.
I'm like, wow,
Felicia Rashad.
she's really got it actually still. So
Yeah, she's okay.
What?
Anyway, my choice was Marge Simpson. And I think it's because despite how awful her kids can be, despite how crazy her husband is, despite all the acting, she has an
she can
endless...
still keep that blue hair up.
That blue hair stays up. But
Right.
no, she is an endless fountain of patience. And she is always just so dedicated and so kind. And she is the voice of wisdom on that show, which I thought was, at first it was all about Bart. And then as they started to kind of, go through all the different incarnations of The Simpsons, it became about Homer. But Marge has remained this constant of just a good character who she has her issues too. Like she becomes
Right.
Gambler.
And they
things
need
like
to
that.
create different plot lines and make her a little more mischievous later down the road.
Yeah.
But
Well, okay, so I just wanted to share this. This has nothing to do with the mom thing, but I just thought it was interesting. So Julie Kavner, who does the voice of Marge, she apparently has a contract where she will never have to promote the show on video. She doesn't ever want to do the voice. She doesn't like to do the voice in person, like when people can see her.
Really?
Because she feels it ruins the character, which I
Wow.
thought was just kind of interesting. Also, until 1998, she was paid $30,000 per episode. But then, after disputes, it got raised to $125,000.
Wow.
Until 2004, then they got paid $360,000 an episode.
Holy
Awesome.
crap.
Oh no, they were going for $360,000. They only got $250,000. So whatever.
Oh man, life's hard.
And then in renegotiations in 2008, the voice actors got $400,000 per episode. However, 3 years later, they cut it back down to $300,000 because of they were going to cancel unless they could cut down costs and things like that.
Okay.
But $300,000 per episode of The Simpsons? Can you imagine how many episodes of The Simpsons are there?
And how many lines does each character actually have? Because there's so many characters.
That's it. 300,000. Give me that job.
Right.
I've said it for a long time that the Simpsons voice actors would be the best job on the planet because you have 20 plus years of solid, steady work, and you can still walk around, Disneyland with your kids and not get mobbed. But everyone in the industry knows you.
Yeah, and you make bank apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julie Kavner, for making bank and being a great mom.
All right, are you guys ready for another question?
Sure.
Jacob Twist.
Oh, jeez.
Let's go, Jacob Twist.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot, guys.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite memory with your mom?
Oh, wow.
God.
It's a real question. I know. I didn't warn you because I didn't want you to tell me no.
I mean, there's favorite memory and there's most memorable because I have a lot
will
of
be fine. Yeah, most
I have a lot of
memorable is just
instances
fine.
which really show who I am as a person, and sometimes those are even like flaws within me, but in a way I always find them endearing. For example, like I don't love fireworks, and we've talked about this on the show.
We have. That's why I hate America.
My mom she was a little tight with money, and she had 5 kids. And, of course, the final 2 is me and my younger sister. We got kind of spoiled. We were the ones that got sugar cereal when the older kids did not. Something they still tell us about to this day.
Oh, nice.
That's funny.
But, I'd be like, hey, Mom, can we go buy fireworks? And a lot of people are going to see this as abuse, but I see it as just such an adorable, like, slice of life with my mom. She'd go, I'll show you a firework. And she'd take I think I shared the story on the show. She'd take a $5 bill.
You just told me once. I don't think you've said it on
And
the
she
show.
light it on fire.
She really would light it on fire?
And she says, that's what you do. That's what happens when you buy fireworks. And I was like, wow. Same thing happened. We go to a casino because we used to go to Vegas a lot to see my cousins when I was a kid. And like she'd take us walking through the casino and I'd go, Mom, play the slot machines. And she didn't care for it. Neither did my dad. And she goes, you want to see me gamble? And I said, yeah. She'd take $5 and throw it in the garbage.
Oh my gosh.
It was kind of like, now that's what happens when you don't take notes.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's just stories like that really, it's just character defining moments with my mom. And like, obviously there's so much love there too, but I'm like, I love you, Mom. Like it really determines who I am too. Kind of stingy and tight.
I mean, it's clearly made an impact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you still complain about fireworks.
Yeah. Apparently you do.
Right.
Wow. That's it.
And I know you're going to share a really adorable story now. So
No, the thing is, I'm trying to think of a story that won't make me cry if I try to tell it, because there's a bunch of cute
You're
ones
a crier.
like that. But I'll tell
Just
one.
go right
I'll tell
ahead.
one that I remember. One of my earliest memories actually is I was our old house back in Roy, and I was walking along this little cement wall, this like half cement wall, and I fell off and went into some rose bushes. And it just sliced up my arm, like, a couple inches on one arm, and it was just bleeding like crazy. And I'm, probably 3 or 4. I really don't remember. It was a long time ago. I'm an old. But I remember I went inside and I knocked on. My mom was in the bathroom. I don't know if she was showering or what, but I knocked on the door and I'm like, Mom, I got cut. And she's just like, just give me 5 minutes, peace. And just go wrap it. Or she said, go take care of it or something like that. And I was like, okay. So I went to the linen closet and got one of her nice towels.
Oh, man.
And wrapped it around my arm. And then when she finally came out, she was like, why didn't you tell me? Like, she was very concerned when she came out. But I remember that being like kind of this funny little moment of just like her just wanting some peace, because she's a mom of 4 kids at that point.
Yeah.
And just wanted that time in the bathroom and wanted everyone to leave her alone. But then when she came out, she was legitimately concerned and did take care of me.
Right.
Yeah, she didn't burn anything in front of me, though. That's pretty awesome.
Jake, your turn.
Yeah.
Jacob Double Twist.
Kitten twist. Okay, I did have something ready actually, so I'm glad I was ready. Otherwise, it would have been like a full minute of me going. So
like
which is where we're at now.
Basically right now. Yeah. Okay, so as a teenager, I didn't have a curfew, and I was out a lot. I was out late every single night, and there was always a lot of stuff going on, and it was kind of a crazy few years. And she'll say that they were her hardest and things like that. And this is a woman who has buried children, who has had handicapped children, multiple, and will still say with a smirk that I'm her greatest trial. So when I would come home at 1 to 3 a.m. routinely, I would find my mom in the living room in the dark, waiting until I got home.
With a shotgun?
And just to make sure I was okay. Like she wasn't comfortable going to sleep. And I would come in and I would put my arm around her like, I'm safe, Mom, you can go to bed. and she would do it over and over and over.
So she had to play the father figure in this case.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. So yeah, and that was always cute.
Did you ever feel guilty because you kept doing it?
I did feel guilty, and I remember I would be driving home and be like, please let my mom just be in bed.
Right.
And there were some nights I just knew she wouldn't, and so, but yeah, no, it did actually
No,
make an impact.
that's actual love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like, I didn't want to tell any story relating to Clay because I'd get emotional. I know I would, but just know, Mom, if you're listening to this episode, I chose that story because it was the least emotional I could tell. But there's plenty of good stories out there.
Yeah. Now, what has happened to Baconsale?
I know.
This is adorable.
It's a mom
Are we getting a
episode.
group hug
It really
after
should
this?
be.
A big group hug.
Yeah.
But there we go. So there's our list of great fictional mothers and some real mothers as well.
And if you have some good stories about your mom or want to share something inspirational or cute or funny,
Yeah, we love funny stories.
We know we like funny. Let us
Throw it
know
up on Facebook.
Facebook, and we'd love to hear your stories.
Yeah, or baconsale.com as well. We'll also take them on Twitter.
Yeah.
If you want to find me on Twitter, you can find me at 76Joel, or you can find me at Quickwits. They perform every Saturday night at 10 o'clock. For more details, go to their Facebook page or go to qwcomedy.com.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kenny3DD. You can also read my reviews at ShowtimeShowdown.com. And also every Friday morning, 8:30 a.m., you can find me on KJS Channel 14.
You can find me on Twitter at Jacob A. Rogers, or talking to my mom on the phone, telling her I love her, trying to make up for all those bad years. So,
Which it seems like you have a lot of work to do.
there's definitely some repayment to be made.
All right, so until next time, yippee-ki-yay, mothers.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't bring anyone mother into this. She ain't here. If it wasn't for your mother, you wouldn't be here. So remember, when you put down one mother, you put down mothers all over the world. Mother. There is no other. Like mother. So treat her right. Mother, I'll always love her. My mother. Treat her right.
So this show is in dedication to all the mothers out there. I want to make a mammogram joke so much.
No, I was going to secretly get a hold of both of your moms as well.
Take it easy.
That's gross.
I'm going to knock you out, homie.
Your mother is going to knock you out.
Yeah, I've got stretchy on the brain now.
Scandalous. My mom likes to butt dial me all the time.
The relationship they have is golden, even though it's based on murder.
Maybe that's why Kevin Spacey's becoming a cat this summer.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again.
Gross.
Joel?
I feel sick.
Creepy little boy.
But you could just say she's dead.
Kill her, mommy. Kill her.
Is it weird that it just makes me laugh?
Beautiful father-daughter relationship based on murder. Oh, this is a nice mom with a nice mom sweater.
Yeah.
And
Mom jeans.
mom jeans, mom hair, and then she
Big
starts
knife.
stabbing people.
Tell you when you're older.
Treat her right. 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 Treat her right.
This is getting awkward.